Good morning all. Welcome to the Introduction to Mobile Application Development Lecture 1 series. Myself Ashwin. So today I'm going to talk about mobile application development as part of a subject of V2MCA 5th semester. The subject code is 18MCA52 and the subject name is Mobile Application Development. This is going to help the students of V2MCA 5th semester students where they'll be learning mobile applications, various mobile applications which are there in this world. So today's session, what exactly we are looking into it? What is the agenda of today's session? What you will be learning? What is the outcome of today's session? What are the learning objectives of today's session? So I'll be introducing myself. Then I'll be going through the vision and mission of our institute and the department. And I'll give the introduction about the subject, its course outcome, and few mobile technologies introduction. So this is the outcome of today's session. So let's go through one by one. By introducing myself Ashwin HM, Assistant Professor, Department of MCA, Maharaj Institute of Technology, Mysore. Have been working here with the experience of 10 years and industrial experience of 5 years. With this experience, I've been teaching here the mobile applications from past 3 years. With this, let me take you to the vision and mission of our institute, where to attain, if any student is joining for our institute, first you'll look into what is that I'll be getting it from the institute. What is the vision of our institute? So our vision is to be recognized as a premier technical and management institution promoting extensive education, fostering research, innovation and entrepreneurial attitude. And to attain this, we have set our missions to empower students with indispensable knowledge through dedicated teaching and collaborative learning, to advance extensive research in science, engineering and management disciplines, to facilitate entrepreneurial skills through effective institute-industry collaboration in interaction with alumni, to instill the need of uphold ethics in every aspect, to mold holistic individuals capable of contributing to the advancement of the society. So with these missions, we'll be attaining our vision and will be recognized as the premier institute in this world. So let's now go through the department vision and mission. So we belong to the department of MCA and our vision states that to be the premier source that provides a transformative education to create computer professionals, competent entrepreneurs and technocrats to meet the global challenges. How are we attaining this? With our own goals and missions set to facilitate students to nurture skills, to practice their professions competently, to meet the ever-changing needs of society and environment, to develop the potential of human resource with new ideas, research to meet the requirements of cutting-edge technology. With these missions, we'll be giving this world an entrepreneurs with computer professionals with high knowledge of computer skills and technical skills. With this, I'm gonna take you people to the introduction of our subject, the mobile application development. So what exactly the subject covers? The subject is newly introduced in the course and it mainly deals with the introduction technologies of Android, iOS and Windows. So once a student learns this subject, he'll be capable of learning coding basic programs in Android, basic programs in iOS and basic programs in Windows. This is what it covers overall subject, which is mobile application development. So with this, when you learn this subject, what is the course outcome? So what all things you'll be capable of? In the step by step, if I have to say the course outcomes are, you'll be understanding the fundamentals of the mobile application developments of the technologies of Android, iOS and Windows. You'll be able to apply the principles of mobile applications to devise programs suitable for known mobile operating systems. And you'll be able to analyze the correctness of the programs you'll be able to evaluate the specifications of the operating system of the mobile devices suitable program to the various architecture and algorithms. And once we do all these things, you'll be able to create the mobile applications in various technologies of Windows, iOS and Android. So once a student learns this subject, the course outcome of this subject is understand the subject, apply it, analyze, then evaluate and then create the applications. So these are the main idea behind this subject. So the syllabus also covers introduction to mobile applications, understanding the mobile applications, and introduction to Android programming. You'll be introduced to the designing of the UI, and you'll be introduced to the GPS based apps, how to develop it. You'll be developing SMS based, network based applications in Android, and we'll be introduced to the iOS apps, how to develop it as simple applications, and you'll be introduced to Windows apps to develop a simple applications. This is a major a crux of our syllabus, what it is covered. And the textbooks and the URLs which we have to go through is Professional Mobile Application Development, written by Jeff Wachter and Scott Govell. Another book, Beginning Android Application Development, by Wei Ming Li of China. And there are few reference books. The best part of if you have to learn mobile applications, rather than going through the book, go through the net. And because the books are old, it's not updated. And nowadays everyone looks like go through the Google or the internet to get the information. And it's the best information, we will get it, the updated ones. So if you are developing an Android, then go to the developer.android.com. If you want to develop, if you want to become an iOS developer, then ios.apple.com. Then if you are developing a Windows, then phone.windows.com. So these are the URLs where the manufacturer of these inventors of these technologies can tell better about the subject or the where you can learn better. So with this thing, let's start our actual session, the introduction of mobile application development. So first, all question comes is why mobile? Why do we need to go through the mobile? All these days, during the era of 1950s to 1990s, the era was only towards the Windows applications, where there was no internet. Later, it came up with the internet, and with the Java technology, we started introducing learning, and whole globe was using web applications. Now the time has come where when we want to move, we want to use the information, we want to gather the information, which means when we are moving, when we are doing mobile, we need information. So for that, the best suitable device is mobile. If you want to access a particular application by sitting on a desktop, you don't tend to be. Now every person, while moving, while traveling, he wants to access to the net. So the best device for this is mobile. So that's the reason, since most of the almost 99% of the technologies which were there in Windows have moved on to the web application. Now it is moving on to the mobile applications, where hardly the percentage is very less using the desktop. Even the statistics tells that using mobiles is almost 75% when compared to using desktop. Desktops are mainly used for the developers purpose, but when it comes to the consumer purpose, it's the mobiles which are getting used, and the tablets the last. And what are the different types of mobiles we come across? Hardly two. Before 2005, we used to use featured phones like basic sets, and now we use smartphones. So what we'll be learning here is everything related to the smartphones, the technologies, the OSs which we'll be learning, Android, iOS and Windows, all are based out of smartphones. So only two technologies to be learned, and it's ruled out. The featured phones are hardly covering the market of 5%, whereas 95% of the market is smartphones. So what is a mobile application? On a mobile, there are many applications which we come across. Usually we use WhatsApp, we use Facebook, we use Gmail. These are all the applications of mobile. Those are nothing but a small programs. We can call it as a softwares written using few technologies like Java, Kotlin or Objective-C. So the program written for mobiles, we call it as mobile applications. The applications which are getting executed on a mobile device, we call it as mobile applications in a simple terms. What is mobile application development then? What we have learned is what is mobile application. Now, what is development? The one who develops those applications, mobile applications, the process we call it as mobile application development, which usually the end user will never get to know. The developers will get to know. So what we are trying to learn here is how do we become a developer to develop mobile application development. What is the process? What exactly goes through the process? This is what we are trying to learn using the mobile application development process. So now what are the different OSs available in mobile technologies? Over the years, many technologies have come, many OSs have come, like iOS, Android, Symbian, WebOS, Beta. Many OSs have come across. But highest market share has been acquired by Android and iOS. So Android has almost acquired 75%, almost 50% or more than 50% of the market throughout the world. Whereas iOS as Apple, which has acquired almost 35%, and rest is other Windows applications. So with the operating system, Android is the leading operating system where we find it everywhere in almost 75% of the world. We find Android OS running on every mobile. So then, what are the different types of mobile applications we have? There are three types: the native apps, the hybrid apps, and the web apps. What exactly, let me take you to what is the native apps. In a simple terms, if I have to say, there is a mobile application, there is a mobile which has got an OS. Take an example as Android is the OS which is running on a mobile device. On this OS, if you are writing an application which directly talks to the OS of Android, then we call it as a native apps, because it's very effective. It's the best. The performance is ultimate. So it is faster. It is smoother because it will talk directly to the Android APIs. So that is the reason native apps are very well performed and the better applications. But there is a disadvantage to be carried out, because if you are developing a native application for Android, it will not run on iOS. It will not run on Windows. So which means you have to write exclusively for Windows, exclusively for iOS, which is most cost. In terms of cost and the developer perspective, more time and more cost. So that is the only disadvantage. You want performance, you develop exclusively for native apps. You want save cost, then it's good to move on to the hybrid apps. Hybrid apps also, we don't find at the end user will never get to see what is the exact difference, but there is a performance issue. Hybrid apps, how it works is it will be written using HTML5 and JavaScript. Again, JavaScript can talk to the Android or iOS or respective OSs, but it takes more time. What is the specialty of Android apps is you can write one application for all the three platforms, which means you are writing an application which will be compiled to the respective platforms. So the cost involved is very less, but the performance is not good when it comes to the gaming or the graphics related applications. But otherwise, it's a good one. If you are going a basic application without animation or graphics or any images or videos, then it is good to go with the hybrid applications. But it all depends what is our requirement. So based on our requirement only we can decide whether we have to go with the native apps or hybrid apps or web apps. The customer, the developer, the manufacturer, the company, the IT company, it has to go to the clear requirements. Who is their customers? Are they targeting only Android? Then it is good to go with native apps. If they're targeting Android, iOS and Windows, then it is better to use hybrid apps. If you want performance, then definitely you have to go with the native apps. And apart from all these things, there is a disadvantage with native apps and hybrid apps. The biggest disadvantage is if there is a newer version coming out with respect to the applications, then it has to be installed by every device. You can push it, but unless a user installs it, the changes will not be reflected. This is the biggest disadvantage of any mobile devices or the many mobile applications written using native apps and hybrid apps. When it comes to the third one, the web apps, this is the real advantage, because web applications runs exclusively on web browser, irrespective of the OSs, irrespective of Android, iOS and Windows, it runs exclusively only on a web browser. It doesn't matter whether you are running it on a smartphone or you are running it on a desktop or you are running it on a tablet. The web application written can be seen even on mobile using the browser. And the biggest advantage is this: it runs on the web server. Any changes done on the web server automatically reflect in every device because it is not installed. So which is the best one? Whether go to native, hybrid or web, it all depends on the IT industry requirement. Based on your requirement, you have to choose which one you want to go. So with this, let's move on to the next slide. Mobile application development technologies. What are the recent technologies which we have is Android, iOS, Windows, Mobile 7. And the main important part which I want to bring here is what kind of, if you want to develop a mobile application, then which are the programming languages you come across, you have to use. So with this, if you want to develop an Android application, then you have to use Java or Kotlin. If you want to develop an iOS application, it's good to use Swift. The older version was using Objective-C, but nowadays Swift has more features and works better. Windows Mobile 7, you can use a .NET framework with a C# or you can use a Silverlight. So these are the technologies which will be used to develop mobile application development. With this, I would like to end the session. So overall, what have we learned today is the introduction to the mobile application development. We have learned and what all the technologies come across, why do we need mobile application development, and these are all the technologies which we have learned in today's class. The outcome of today's session is an introduction to mobile application development. Thank you all.